My name is Cletus Ilobanafo.
Cletus, you're welcome.
Yeah, I'm actually reporting for CEO Africa. And the aspect we want to interview you for is on the platform called Securing Africa. Securing Africa is a platform in CEO Africa that actually talked about security of life and property of Africans without actually using force, arms and ammunition, but through peace and conflict resolution. At the same time, we've actually been following all what you've been doing since you've been posted to Oyo State, and it has been tremendous. And that is why today we want to actually hear from the horse's mouth, to actually know how you have been doing it. So, sir, how would you describe the security situation in the state?
I think it's relatively calm. The crime situation in Oyo State, by the grace of God and the effort of the officers and men of the command and cooperation with other security agencies, has been very stable. There has not been any increase in major crimes in the state since I assumed here as Commissioner of Police.
Okay. What is the mechanism put in place to prevent future occurrences of Bodija crisis?
We have tried our best in that case. I'm sure even before the matter came to my office, it has been with me officially, but eventually last Friday I had to talk to the two factions of the Yorubas and the Hausas community. We were in my office for over 2 hours. We spoke at length, but unfortunately when they left my office, there are some followers behind the two factions. They want to cause some problem in the market. But with what we did again after that, we still continue to talk to them, and then eventually we persuaded the governor of the state to go there and spoke with them by himself. And he did exactly that with our escorts. And I'm sure if we are there this afternoon, you must have seen the reaction of the people at the market. I think everybody will now go about his normal business, but all the same, we are going to continue to provide adequate security at the market to protect life and properties. And the situation is brought to normalcy.
Yes, it's very nice having you on this interview. So I'd like to quickly ask you, the Operation Boss team that was put together by the Oyo State government some couple of months back when this administration came in place, all of a sudden we noticed that we stopped seeing men, of the Nigerian police force amongst them. So we'd like to clarify, because what we have been hearing from people is that the men of the Nigerian police are no longer in that team. Are they still in that team? And if they're there, what major role are they playing in that team?
They got a battle together. To the best of my knowledge, they are still in that operation post. Up to this afternoon, this moment I'm taking to now. That is why, in fact, myself and the commander of the brigade of the post, I had to go and meet the governor to go to Bodija Market together. We are working in harmony with them. There is no problem. We are together up to this moment I'm taking to. I'm not aware of any withdrawal.
Yes, what we would like to know what the Oyo State Police Command is doing in terms of provision of peace among the NURCW members, because in the past in Oyo State it is usually violence, mayhem, crisis recorded on a daily basis. But lately we've not been hearing of all of this. Now, what measures are you putting in place to ensure that in future we do not have some of these issues that we've been having in the past between one faction or the other in the NURTW chapter of Oyo State?
The most important thing in any society is that anybody who breaches the law, charge him to court as a police organization. And that's exactly what we have been doing in any aspect, not only about NURT, but another aspect of ensuring peace in society is the issue of conflict resolution. And the IG, in part of its transformation agenda, has all the commands in the state to create an office of the conflict resolution to be headed by an officer, and that is exactly what we are doing. So anywhere we have small fraction, a problem between two factions of any group of people, we call them and talk to them first, talk to them severally, before eventually if we cannot solve the problem, we charge cases to court. But as for the NURTW, I'm sure you can see they have a case in court, and that with that aspect of any case in court, the status quo must remain. If there is any grievances from part of anybody, that is where we are now.
Okay. Few weeks back, we heard about the driver of a charter vehicle that actually destroyed the barricade of a popular Mokola flyover. We want to ask, what is the situation with the driver right now?
That driver was charged to court the next day for driving without due care and attention and destruction of government properties. So I'm sure if you go to the court and follow it up, you see the latest, you hear the latest development. You know the role of the police. Once we charge a case to follow a particular offense, we have finished our own. But the driver was charged to court. It's a traffic offense, no more. It's not a case of murder or robbery. It's not a criminal offense. It could happen. It's just a normal traffic offense. But the way people will see it is different from the way we see it.
Sorry, sir. Regarding that Tata vehicle, suddenly we began to hear that the government, was blaming it on the opposition. Now, what have you done to ensure that, since the driver has been charged to court, to ensure that there is no, conflict between different political parties as regards that particular issue?
Well, I'm sure I'm not a politician. I have nothing to do with who did it or who didn't it. The most important thing is for me, I got the person who did it and I'm charging to court. So the blame from the government saying it is opposition or the opposition saying the bridge wasn't built well, it's not my business as a policeman. The most important thing for me is charge whoever did to court, and I'm charging to court. So other comment about that, insinuations from both parties, is none of my business as a policeman.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
What is the command doing to ensure that there is lasting peace in your state?
Like I've said earlier, part of it is this issue of conflict resolution. If the two factions, two groups of people are fighting. Like now, I'm telling you, next week I'm going to meet the entire leadership of the Fulanis in this place and Yorubas, where we have large number of Fulanis, so that avoid any clash between Fulanis and farmers, which is very common in some part of the country. This is part of it. You don't have to wait until it happens. You talk to them to see reason and then maybe provide solution to what could happen if such happen. If a cow goes into the farm and destroy, what should be done? What is the next action? And then create a very solid vigilante group among the two groups, so that if there is anything, we go out together and work together. I'm teaching of the Yorubas and the Fulanis in harmony. This is part of it. You don't have to wait until the problem happens before the police get in.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. The Inspector General of Police, MD Abubakar, have been talking about police reform. Please, can you share more light on that aspect?
The police reform has started. The IG is continuing from where other IGs has. The federal government has set up a committee. Some committees worked on that. What is here now is implementation. It's all about training and retraining of the police, equipping them. That is all about the reformation of the police. Seeing that we have a 21st century police who can compete with any other police in the world. That's exactly what we are doing. Well equipped, well trained, well mannered. That is the dream and aspiration of IGP Muhammed.
Thank you, sir. I would like to know, sir, as part of these police reforms, yes, what is the Nigerian police force doing to improve all the police stations? The old police stations that we used to have that are not secured, the suspects, they are there. There are mosquitoes, unlike the ones we now have at Skynet. And then what are you also doing as to retraining and training of police officers, especially the lower cadre, to ensure that they have more knowledge, they can as to human relation with the public, so that the statement of police is your friend remains as it is.
Like I said it earlier, what the IG is doing is at the federal level, at the fourth level, we at the state level are doing our best. I have been calling, like I'm working in harmony with the NBA here, to come anytime to lecture my men on how to behave. To have respect for my policemen, to respect human rights. Yesterday I was at Ibadan Polytechnic. I was calling on the management if there is any lecture they can organize for my men on human relations. We are welcome. Anybody, if there is anything you think, we don't wait until the IG said do this, do that. While they are doing their own, locally here we do our training too. We invite some human rights activists to come and talk to our men how to respect human rights. And then as for training and retraining, I think by and large, so far, close to half of Nigerian police were trained and retrained after when the IG came in. So many trained as detective courses, crime courses, and so many other in and outside the country. It's still ongoing. And how to handle firearms. And locally we do it, and then they call them from the zone at the level they do it. Sometimes they call them from as far as Kano, Kaduna to go and attend training, and it's ongoing. It will not stop until the IG said you got the police you want for Nigerians.
What about the police stations? What are you doing?
It's a capital-intensive project. You can see that to build a police station is not an easy thing. You don't have to go and start begging the state government to do that. That's the federal government issue. I'm sure when the IG source money from the federal government, you see a lot of changes. It's not about rebuilding the police station. It's about reforming them, painting them, and then make them look habitable. And let me tell you, a police station actually, detention camp is not meant for. It's not a prison. It's actually a transit camp for would-be criminals who will be taken to court. Not more than 24 hours, we should charge them to court. So it's not a place to come and enjoy, but all the time, it's not a place to come and suffer. We don't here to humiliate you or something. Just to keep somebody there temporarily is before the next day I charge to court. The court will decide to take you to the prison. Why don't you talk about making the prisons more habitable, where people are expected to stay longer? Police station, we say we have 2 days at most, or 1 day. The prison 10, 15, 20, sometimes for life. Either you ask more of making the prisons look better, more habitable, more hygienic than the police station, which is a transit kind of. Yeah, like if you are going to London, you branch at Heathrow Airport. The most important is your actual destination, which is less, not the stopover airport. It's not important. That is not very important. Police station is just like that. If you are a criminal or a criminal, we arrest you. It's just there for 1 day at most. The next day you charge to court, go to prison and start. That is it.
So tell us, since you assumed office in your state as the Commissioner for Police, what are those achievements that you have recorded? Outstanding achievements that you feel that is what telling the people?
The peace, the level of discipline among my men. I don't tolerate corruption. If anybody is found wanting, I don't waste time in removing him or even dismissing him, as the case may be, as Commissioner of Police. I think with that I instill a lot of discipline on the part of my men, and then my DPOs are up and doing what they are supposed to without being reminded. That is the most important thing. But the most important, like I said, making sure my DPOs are up and doing to make sure the crime level in the state is brought into a kind of tolerable level.
So apart from this, human relation between the command and the people of the state, how far have you gone to, even these vigilante groups, these community vigilantes? What have you done since you came into office to re-establish, the commitment to them and making them closer to your doorstep?
It has been there at the local level. They do it, even at the state level. Yeah. Last time I met with my state PCRC, and then we have been advocating of this community police. Our policemen are everywhere. We attend functions where people will see us and we behave ourselves. So far, so good. We have never received any complaints since I came.
So tell us, regarding security in Africa, not only Nigeria now, what's your view? And what do you think is going to be a solution to, insecurity in Africa as a continent?
I take you Africa. Why don't you talk of the world? The problem is insecurity is everywhere. It's in the Middle East. You can see even this afternoon there was a bomb in Iraq where about 40 people were killed. I think it's about commitment and then being our brother's keeper. A lot of employment has to be generated. Otherwise, if we have youths who are not employed, it's a problem. I think the state government, the local government, and the federal government should create opportunity for all these our young graduates who just graduated and no job. You see, an idle mind is a devil's workshop. I think if we get them doing something, their minds will be taken away from crime. But all the time, it's not enough. It's not a reason. I don't advise youth to think crime is an option for unemployment. You must sit down at home, at least think of something positive, not negative. If you think of something positive, you can create something for yourself rather than thinking of going into crime to sustain yourself. This is a very difficult situation we found ourselves. The economic recession is about the whole world. It's not about only Nigeria or Africa. But when there is economic crisis, of course we expect a lot of crime level going up and then a lot of insurgencies. And then people should endeavor to be well educated. That is the most important thing. Once you're educated, there's a tendency for you not to be swayed into misbehaving or anything like that.
Well, thank you very much for finding time to actually discuss with us. We must really say that we're very much grateful.
Thank you.
And God bless you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.